1992-93 in Kaduna, a riot. Banditry started under the watch of APC because they were the ones that brought them in. It was 1992-93 in Kaduna. A riot broke out which they call the Zango Kataf riot. I was a young boy, very, very young then, and people were killed in scores. If you are not an Afsa person practicing Muslim in Islam, you were killed. Especially if you are from the southern part of Kaduna, the tribes from the southern part of Kaduna, they were massacred. It was called the Zango Kataf riot. And if the next thing they do is to burn churches, kill Christians, and then if they are done with that, then they focus on businesses that is for Igbo people, Igbo owned businesses, and they destroyed it. I grew up knowing that Christians are an endangered species in Nigeria. In the year 2000, when the Sharia riot, how many of you have heard of the Sharia riot? Hundreds of thousands of people were killed in Kaduna. I can remember vividly that we had to defend our house from people. They brought some Fulani boys and they faced our house. They were shooting arrows. They were spotting our zinc. They spot our zinc shooting arrows. Even though I was a Muslim then, even though my father was a Muslim then, but because majority of the people in our compound were Christians, so they were willing to destroy every one of us because we were living with Christians. I can remember a particular church in Mando, for those that know Mando, in Kaduna, called Chapel of Redemption. That church was destroyed. And so from that time, anytime there's a little hanky-panky in Nigeria, the first target is churches and Christians. And this has prevailed for a long time. That even if there's a problem with in another country, the Muslim and the Hausas in Nigeria will rise up and begin to kill Christians. How many of you remember the miswatch crisis in 2002, 2001, 2002? That somebody threw a picture of Muhammad or something in France, long away in France, and they began to fight in Nigeria. Are you following me? Christians are endangered species. Now let me give you, and that's how it has continued. Stuff have been killed, and they focus on regions where there is a mixture of both Christianity and Islam. If you look at states like Kaduna, states like Plateau State, states like Nasarawa, states like Taraba, states like Benue, states like Bauchi, states like Gombe, states like Borno. These are places where they focus on because they intend to eliminate every living Christian in that place. Anybody that the body is a total lie because I have grown and lived in the north. I've spent 80 to 80% of my life in the north, so I understand this thing. Several times, I cannot forget the Sharia riot. We were running for our lives. Even though we were Muslims, we were still running because as far as you are not of that ethnic group, practicing what they practice, you are a victim. You can be burnt alive. Many of us saw human beings that were burnt alive, like roasted like yam. And it has been going on for a long time. The genocide against the Christian faith. Are you with me? Many years ago, in Kano State, a man was beheaded. And anything they talk about that he said blasphemy. And guess who was the person that led it? The man called Sanusi Lamido Sanusi was the one that led him up. And they beheaded him, they killed the woman. They killed him and they put his hand on the stake and they were using it to parade the city. You understand of a woman also that is an evangelist. An evangelist Eunice that was preaching about 2016 or 18 in Abuja. And they killed her. We cannot talk about a young girl called Deborah Samuel that was killed. I stood in church, and for years, the people of Plateau have been massacred. Riot breaking every single time. The word that the moment anything happens, the next people that are victims are Christians. And it is unfortunate that all these years the government have not been able to do anything about it. But the agenda is deep. Are you with me this morning? Why am I saying? Because I don't want us to be ignorant people. If we are ignorant people, they will control the narrative. And these days, let me tell you the truth. God will not come and fight for you. Remove that thing from your mind. If Christians don't rise up, pray from that to tomorrow. God is not coming to fight for you.
It's the Indomie Eat and Win promo. The more you eat, the more you win. How to win? Buy the Indomie.
Are you with me? Now, in the year 2009, Boko Haram started. Boko Haram started because of a section. It was a political movement. They created Boko Haram as a political talks to bring confusion into the government of Goodluck Jonathan and to be able to destroy any opposition, starting from Borno State, under the watch of a man called Shettima, which is now the vice president of Nigeria. Shettima and the other man, Ali Mohammed Sharif. These were the people that started the business of Boko Haram as a political talks to be able to oppose their opponents. But after a time, the ideology grew and they began to destroy. Now, it became a problem and they began to use it to destroy bombing here and there. In 2009, 2010. As of 2010, a man led a meeting in Jos. Are you with me? He led a meeting that they were going to annihilate Christians within the locality of Plateau, Borno, Plateau, Bauchi, Kaduna, and Nasarawa. And he said they are going to perform jihad. They will bring jihad and they will go to Gita. If the Islamic leaders are not willing to lead them, he is ready to lead the movement. I have the minute of that meeting in my phone presently. Guess who is that person? It's Pantami, that was the former minister of communication under Buhari's regime. And several times, these are people that are terrorist sympathizers. And that is why the Nigerian army are not able to win the war against the terrorism. Because people have, the terrorists have infiltrated the Nigerian ranks, the army ranks, so they cannot win the war. That said, Osama bin Laden was a better Muslim than he is. He was sad when Osama bin Laden was killed. And he has said it several times that Boko Haram should not be killed. He said they are their Muslim brothers. How do you win a war against terrorism? When there are people high in government that are sympathizing to terrorism, how do you win that war? Now, there are 4 categories of insecurity or people that are causing insecurity. Number 1, you have Boko Haram. Number 2, you have bandits. Number 3, you have Fulani herdsmen. Now I'm going to show you how they are connected. Many people don't know. The Boko Haram and the Fulani herdsmen have one mission. The mission is simple: Islamize Nigeria. Come to a territory that are Christian dominated, kill everybody there, occupy their land. Go to Benue, look for a community, kill them there, occupy their land. That is always me. Boko Haram and the Fulani herdsmen. Have you noticed the Fulani herdsmen they don't kidnap, they kill. There's hardly a place you hear that Fulani herdsmen catch that they say these are Fulani herdsmen. No, when they go, they kill. How do they kill? They kill with bombs. You must not ask yourself, how does the Fulani man get AK-47? Do you know the cost of one AK-47? One AK-47 is over $1,000 something. Where will a Fulani man be able to obtain to be able to get one AK-47? Are you with me? And now, so you know that there are people that are sponsoring this movement. Then the Boko Haram and the Fulani, they go about Christian-dominated areas. You understand that when this terrorism started in Nigeria, that only people that were killed were Christian churches. You will not hear that they kill anyone. It is Christians and churches. I remember in Kaduna then that churches began to look for security men to guide their churches in every service day. Otherwise, you can be in church and the next is boom, everybody dies. And churches that don't have money to hire soldiers began to use some of their members. I was a member of the security team in my church in Deeper Life in Kaduna in 2010. Because we don't stay in the church. Once I come to the church in the morning, we stay outside, moving around patrolling, because anybody can come and drop anything. So when Boko Haram started, the majority of Muslims, the Hausa, local Muslims, they were happy. I know people that were celebrating it. If you see them crying today, I'll tell you why. At the initial beginning of this thing, they were happy celebrating the killings of Christians. They said they are punching Nigeria of army. It was majority of Christians and Christian-dominated areas.
Oh, so sad. So sad to hear. So sad and so sad to know. You see? Hey, don't be today nyash day back. Imagine the country Nigerian is corrupt on its own. You can see the people that we brought in as leader. We brought in the initiator and the founder and the originator of Térrørīst into power. We recruited and we employed terrorists as ministers. When Shettima was coming in, they said it that we are bringing in the founder of Térrørīst. People thought it was a joke. Look at it. We have heard it from countless number of people. He initiated terrorism as a means of thuggery, to use them as for thuggery, for political thuggery. And look at him now as our vice president, looking so innocent. All of us know Issa Pantami, the Minister of Communication. They said it too, that this guy is one of the very strong mover and member of the terrorism group. And Buhari brought him in as Minister of Communication. In fact, now then they into power. When they said that it is the sponsors and the founder of terrorism that are in Aso Rock, I never doubted it, because already, in fact, I appreciate you, my man. You don't really talk my mind. I know it. Do you know the record that Nigerian belong to in genocidal killings? Number 1 in the whole world. Yes, no, number 3 in the whole world, then number 1 in Africa. The best thing is for this country to divide and let everybody go in his own way. We have swallowed too much ink and sinker, and we cannot swallow anymore. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Help share this video and let it go viral. We all must be informed. Thank you.